Come on. Imagine a life without all of the frequency, all that urgency, the pain, and the blood. Imagine a life without all the blood. I'll show you how. Welcome to Health and Wellness. I'm Mel. Today's topic is colitis. 15 years ago, my husband was diagnosed with the disease and we had no idea what it was. Fast forward to today, and he is healthy, vibrant, and living his full life. I'm going to talk to you about everything that happened in between. And when I say heal, I mean heal completely. We're not talking about remission. We're not talking about continuing a medication. We're talking about being totally healed and not having any urgencies, frequencies, no blood, and not taking any medication for it. And hopefully our story will help inspire you to make the changes you need to make in order to fully heal. This video is divided up into 3 main parts. Part 1 is our backstory. I really believe if you listen to our story and you see where my husband was coming from, you'll be confident that you too can heal. Part 2 is going to be the learning. I'm going to take you through my thought process and what I learned in order to help my husband heal and become completely free of the disease. I'm going to take you through that whole process so that it will feel as intuitive to you as it did to me. And it will just make a lot of good sense, and hopefully when you put it into practice, it will help you too. Some people might say, "You're not an expert." Well, who are you? You're not a doctor. You don't know anything. But I am an expert. I'm an expert in love. Just like you, I have a PhD in loving my loved ones. And when you care for other people, you just don't want to see them die. Part 3 is going to be the template. It's the protocol that I used based on my learning to help my husband heal from colitis. I'm going to give you the full template. You can choose to use it or not, depending on whether or not it resonates with you, but it really works, and I'm really excited to share it with you. I'm also going to wrap up with some very special aha moments that will help you in your healing journey. So let's get started. Part 1, our backstory. 15 years ago, we got the diagnosis that my husband had colitis. Now, at the time, we had no idea what it was. We just knew that my husband was in severe pain and his quality of life was diminishing because of trips to the bathroom, all the pain, and of course the worrisome diarrhea and blood. It's so not pleasant. Straight away, my husband was put on immunosuppressors, steroid drugs, all kind of suppositories, anti-inflammatory meds. He was taking medication through both ends of his body. So for some reason, the colitis was not subsiding. He went through this for a number of years, and it was getting very frustrating. Those simple medications, they seemed simple enough at least, they just weren't working. A few years in, the doctor finally suggested a more intense medication called Remicade. And Remicade is a medication where you are infused with a drug for a few hours over the course of a day. But for my husband, it caused some severe leg pain afterwards, and he had to go to bed after his treatment. He was going through these treatments every 6 to 8 weeks. At first, it was so awesome because his symptoms totally subsided with this medication. I mean, he was able to go 6 weeks at a time without diarrhea, without blood, without the urgency. So we felt great about the fact that he was feeling better. However, the doctor said,
"The drug probably won't work forever. The efficacy of the drug will decrease over time."
Sure enough, over time, his appointments started to get closer together. Like, he wouldn't be able to go 7 weeks without feeling the pain and the urgency. So I just got to a point where I felt like it's really not a way to live, to wait every 6 weeks to get your medication. And on the last week, he would be doubled over in so much discomfort. He just would be basically begging for that appointment. I should also mention that his colonoscopies were horrible. He had terrible inflammation and ulcers all the way up and down his colon, all the way through his large intestines down to his rectum. His entire colon was wrecked. We did get to a point with the doctor where the doctor said,
Your next step is colon removal surgery. We're gonna need to take that colon out. You don't need that colon, do you? It's just a colon bag. It's just a colon bag.
we were pretty much in the depths of it, you guys. I mean, we were on the doorstep to getting that colon removed. It's not a way to live. It's not how I wanted him to spend the rest of his life. So I decided on my own to start doing some research and figuring out what the heck to do, because this colitis stuff is not serving anybody. Am I right? You know I'm right. Part 2, the learning. Well, I decided to embark on a journey of my own, looking into gut health, colitis, and all the things that go with it. The first thing I did was find a whole host of books on colitis and the gut microbiome. I knew that these things were important to understand before figuring out how to go about helping my husband. And I'm going to take you through my thought process and what I actually learned along the way. So I hope it makes sense to you, because it made a lot of sense to me and it works. So let's take a look at the word colitis. Colitis has the C-O-L and then the itis. So the col is for the colon, obviously, and the suffix is the itis. And an itis suffix is inflammation. So we're talking about severe inflammation of the colon. And for my husband, he had ulcerative colitis, which means he also had ulcers. Take a look at the word, and we're addressing inflammation of the colon. So what do I do first? What I did first was I decided to research what foods caused inflammation of the colon. Doesn't that make so much sense? It makes so much sense. Look at what causes inflammation, and you're gonna wanna avoid all of those foods. Why would you eat foods that cause inflammation if your body is struggling with inflammation? You're just gonna add to it, so don't add to it. Promise yourself today you're gonna quit the inflammatory foods. It's a very important step. We're gonna talk about what those foods are and how you can avoid them. Now, some of these foods are probably gonna surprise you. Some of them, it may be very, very hard for you to take out of your diet, but I promise you, if you do, you're going to see results. The foods that cause the most inflammation consist of the following. Sugar, number 1. Get out the sugar, don't eat the sugar. It does not serve you, it only hurts you. Processed foods. You're gonna have to get rid of all of the processed foods. It's really not good for you to eat food that has been processed. It's not good for the body. If you're still eating fast food, processed foods from the grocery store, all of that stuff needs to go. Promise yourself that you're going to not do any fast food for as long as you can, really. I mean, for the rest of your life would be best, but. Number 3, dairy. Dairy is terribly inflammatory, and what it does is dairy increases the amount of mucus in your body, and when you have too much mucus in your body, that creates more inflammation for your body. So dairy is one of the biggest ones to try to stay away from when you're dealing with colitis. It is a terribly inflammatory ingredient. When we talk about dairy, we're talking about milk, butter, ice cream, yogurt, eggs. They feed the pathogens that make your disease worse. We're talking about inflammation, and we're talking really about starving pathogens. They are in our bodies all the time, and they like to eat too. Guess what? They like to eat exactly what we like to eat. They love sugar, they love bread, they love processed foods and fast food. Pathogens eat that stuff up, they love it. They hate foods that are really, really, really healthy for you. They do not like leafy greens. They do not like fresh fruits and vegetables. So by eating things that the pathogens don't like, you're starving them. And that's what you want to be doing. So we want to be cutting the inflammation and starving the pathogens. That's why you got to cut out the eggs. They love them. Eggs is the number 1 food for pathogens. So you must cut out eggs, and that means not only restricting eggs from your morning breakfast, but it means also looking on the back of boxes and making sure that the things that you're eating do not contain eggs within the ingredients. For a lot of people, that means no baked goods if they're made with eggs. So you really kind of have to think outside the box and realize eggs can be in a lot of things that you may not notice. Now, another thing to stay away from would be alcohol. And this should be a no-brainer, but really, you really need your liver's support during this healing time. And so if your liver is diverted to processing alcohol, your healing is going to take a lot longer. It's just the truth. The other food you should be aware of is gluten. Gluten is a pathogenic food, and it is an inflammatory food. Now, what's gluten? Gluten is a protein found within wheat, rye, barley. And so when you're eating bread and bagels and muffins and other baked goods, even tortillas with gluten, you are feeding those pathogens. So stay away from the gluten during your healing process. Now let's get to the good stuff and talk about what we're gonna do. Step 1, lemon water. Lemon water is so good for you to drink in the morning. I want you to drink a 16-ounce glass of lemon water when you wake up. Now I've got 16 ounces here and half of a lemon. So I'll just take a quarter and squeeze 2 quarters in. And when you wake up, you'll be doing this every morning. So squeeze your lemon in there, drink it up. Now, the reason you're doing this is because lemon water helps to further detoxify your body in the morning. This is super important for you to heal because the lemon actually helps bind to the toxins within your body, and it helps you pee it out when you're ready to go to the bathroom in the morning. So you will be getting rid of all of the toxins that you've accumulated overnight through this glass of lemon water. Drink it right when you wake up, first thing. Before anything else, drink your lemon water. Buy 3 lemons a week and use them over the course of the week for your lemon water. Start your day. Lemon water. Step 2, celery juice. You can go without a juicer. You can actually blend a bunch of celery at a super high speed and then run it through a nut milk bag to make sure the chunks stay in the bag, and then you get your juice. It's a hard way to do it. You're gonna need to invest in a juicer, but guess what? A juicer is way less expensive than medication, okay? So you're gonna have to invest in a juicer, and you're going to consume celery juice in the morning after your lemon water. That's step 2. Okay, let's talk a little bit about that. You're gonna grab, this is a bunch of celery, this is 1 bunch, and this will make about a 16-ounce glass of celery juice, which is what you are gonna want. You want 16 ounces of pure celery juice with nothing added. This is what it looks like when it comes out of the juicer. So beautiful, and it's so good for you. I talk a lot about what to take out of your diet, but this is one thing that you really need to add in. Celery juice is anti-inflammatory, it's antiviral, it boosts your good bacteria to take over the bad bacteria so you don't get sick. It kills pathogens. This is such an incredible tonic, and it's so healing. Celery juice also has sodium cluster salts inside, which totally clean your digestive tract. Now, for people with colitis, your intestinal tract is already super inflamed. This helps calm the inflammation. And if there's one thing I would suggest you do during this healing journey that you do every single day without fail, it's celery juice. If you cannot get in your lemon water for some reason, go ahead and jump to the celery juice. This piece of the healing plan is one of the most important. A couple guidelines for your celery juice include the following. You're going to be drinking 1 16-ounce glass every day. 16 ounces is the amount it takes for it to cover your entire digestive tract. Now remember, your digestive tract starts here with your mouth and it goes all the way down to the rectum. So that's a really long journey for your celery juice, and you kind of need a lot of it for it to continue all of the benefits all the way down. That's why 16 ounces is the magic number. If you're able to drink more is definitely better. Now, at the beginning, I want to warn you, celery juice can be an acquired taste, especially if you're not used to eating fruits and vegetables. Like, it could be a challenge. So just keep that in mind, and it's an acquired taste. It took my husband about 2 weeks to come around to acquiring the taste for it and able to drink it every morning. So just keep that in mind. But this is a very, very important part of your healing. Dedicate yourself to adopting a taste for celery juice, and it will take you so far. You need to keep the celery juice pure. Do not mix it with anything else. Do not juice it with apples. Don't mix it with lemon. Don't dilute it with water. It needs to be pure, straight from the juicer. Drink your celery juice. Don't add anything to it. Drink 16 ounces of it every day, every morning, first thing. Another thing is, make sure you're drinking it on an empty stomach. So if you're following the true protocol of beginning with lemon water, you'll want to wait for 30 minutes before you drink your celery juice. Your celery juice needs to be on an empty stomach. We need to repeat that because it's so important. Drink your celery juice on an empty stomach. Step 3 is your meal. So now we've gotten to getting to eat during the day. You've had your lemon juice in the morning, you've waited 30 minutes, you've drank your celery juice, and now it's time to have the rest of your meals. So for your meal planning with colitis, all you're going to want to do is make sure to pay attention to the foods to avoid list. Now the foods to avoid are the foods that we addressed in part 2. These are the inflammatory foods. So prepare your meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, avoiding all of the inflammatory foods. So no eggs, no dairy, no gluten. Focus on fresh fruits and vegetables as the basis of your meals every day as much as you can. I know that's a hard transition for a lot of people to go straight to fruits and vegetables when maybe that's something that hasn't been a big part of your life up until now. But for instance, a great breakfast in the morning would be fresh fruit. If you can make yourself a filling fruit bowl or even a very big fat smoothie with lots of fruits in it, that'd be a great first meal of the day. For lunch and dinner, focus on steamed vegetables, even some baked potatoes. You can have some rice, you can have salmon maybe every once in a while. So just kind of make sure you're avoiding the inflammatory foods list and get creative with what you can eat outside of that list. It's really super helpful for you to continue to remember to flush your body, drinking lemon water throughout the day. That's such a powerful elixir for your body to flush out the bad stuff. I'm so happy that you're gonna heal. And there you have it. That's the total template of how I helped my husband heal from his ulcerative colitis. You guys, essentially, it's all about understanding what hurts your body and what things you need to avoid putting in it that will exacerbate the problems that you're already having. And there are foods, as we discussed, that will make your body degrade more, and you want to avoid those foods. So you guys, it's really simple. It comes down to understanding what hurts your body and what helps your body, because literally what I learned was that everything you consume either directly contributes to your health or directly contributes to disease. And so if you've been eating out, if you've been eating at fast food, if you eat fried food, if you eat a lot of meat, if you eat a lot of dairy, if you go out for pizza, if you eat ice cream, you are unknowingly hurting your body more and making the colitis worse. Remember, you're going to starve the pathogens of what they love and feed your body what it needs. Bring in the lemon water. bring in the celery juice, bring in more fresh fruits, snack on raw fruit, snack on vegetables, steam your vegetables for your meals. All of those things are anti-pathogen. Pathogens don't like them. They will starve to death, and that's what you want. It doesn't sound very peaceful, but that's what you want to do. Starve those pathogens. Starve them. Starve them, starve them. I found out through my research that the body is actually self-healing. I think that that is so incredible and mind-blowing. It's self-healing. Just get out of the way and the body will do its job. The body's always looking for homeostasis, that perfect point of balance where it can keep you in check, keep you healthy. The body wants to be healthy. The symptoms you're experiencing are communications from your body saying, I have too much mucus, you're feeding me too much dairy, I need something different. Listen to your body. Suppressing the symptoms might make you feel better, but it's not really helping your healing in the long run. We really need to get back to simplicity and eating the right foods for your body to help your body heal along the process. That's what you're doing with this plan, is you're working with the body to help the body heal itself. Working with the body is drinking water in the morning. You're working with your body's natural detoxification. In the morning, your body wants to get rid of all the toxins. Flushing it with lemon water is helping the body. That's gonna go a long way to your healing. Drinking the celery juice after flushing your body of toxins replenishes the good bacteria in your body. It strengthens the good stuff. It kills the bad stuff. And it really is a great antiviral, anti-pathogen drink that helps you heal. I think you'll see that there's a lot of health benefits to this protocol above and beyond just patients with colitis. I did it myself and I saw huge jumps in my energy. You lose toxic weight through this program. So it's great for everybody. And now you have directly contributed to world peace. Because now you're healthy, and that means you're happy. And you're just gonna be spreading all that happiness all over the place. It's just a colon bag. Just a colon bag, no big deal. Yeah, we're gonna need to take out your colon. Yeah, we're gonna need to get your colon out. No biggie, just a colon bag. We're gonna need that colon. Give us your colon.